Hello everyone, I welcome to all of you in GSSCORE. My name is Dr. Abid and I teach Environment and Ecology in GSSCORE. As you know that GSSCORE has started a wonderful series regarding the approaches to minds, how to understand the question, how to break the question, and how to find out the best thing in question. You know that time has changed. Currently, UPSC is testing your ability through analytical way, conceptual way, and descriptive, and another important things. So now it is a very hard time to understand these all important things through different approach and methods. Getting the points? So today we have a very different topic regarding the Ramsar concept from GS paper 3rd from Environment and Ecology. Getting my points? So this is the question. What is the wetland, and explain the Ramsar concept of wise use in the context of wetland conservation. Cite two examples of Ramsar sites from India. This question was from 2018. Getting my points? So now we have to understand what are the concept and how to break down the question and how to find the best thing, best concept behind the question. Getting my points? So without any giving motivational lecture, let's find out the concept. First of all, question is talking about what is wetland. Means you have to define the wetland carefully. Look how. Look, definition part. The first part is talking about what is a wetland. So means this is the introductory part, and definitely you need to give a clear technical definitions. देखो बहुत सारे बच्चे क्या होते हैं, whenever we talk about the definitions, so definitely they write about the irrelevant things, unnecessary words. So please, you have to be careful that you have to write a clear and technical definition of wetlands. Next one, preferably use the Ramsar Convention definitions, globally accepted, or one from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This set the stage for the rest of the answer. Means if you are writing the clear definitions, ठीक है, कह सकते हैं जो ग्लोबल है, स्टैंडर्ड और नेशनल लेवल स्टैंडर्ड की जो डेफिनेशंस हैं, डेफिनेटली आपका वो आंसर आगे के लिए तैयार हो जाता है. मींस यू हैव टू क्लियरली टेक्निकली उसको डिफाइन करना है, व्हाट इज द वेटलैंड. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट्स? नाउ लेट्स मूव द सेकंड पार्ट. The second part of the question is talking about the conceptual analysis. What is conceptual analysis? Means explain the Ramsar concept wise use in the context of wetland conservation. Means conceptual analysis. This core analytical part of the question, it asks why. What is the wise use of concept according to the Ramsar Convention, and how does this idea apply to wetland conservations? Getting my points? So clearly we can notice in the question in the second part, that second part is basically talking about the conceptual clarity and conceptual analyticals. Getting my points? So now you have to analyze the second part of the question through this part, that how does this idea apply to wetland conservation efforts, and definitely conceptual clarity, contextual application, and possibly examples or relevance to the India. These all are the important things. Means each and every part we are going to decode. The second thing, third thing is factual illustrations. Means the question is talking about the cite two examples from the India. Means the question is demanding that you have to mention at least two examples. Means factual illustration. Cite two examples means this is the factual support enrichment part of the answer, and you need to name two Ramsarites. कुछ भी आप उसमें ले सकते हैं. So means on the one side of the question is talking about the define your definitions, clear and technicals, and the second part is talking about the conceptual analysis, and the third part is talking about the factual information. Getting my points? Now let's move toward the answer. Now let's find out the model answer and how we are going to write the best way, best answers through limited words. As you know that we have started our answer from the introduction, and you know that introduction should be precise, clear, technically clear, and you have to use very important words, avoid unnecessary words, avoid extreme views, avoid rubbish words, and don't use your extra knowledge. You have to be clever and you have to use your standard knowledge. You have to use only standardized words given by the global agencies or national agencies. Getting my points? So this is the introduction, hardly 4 and 5 lines. So let's understand what kind of words we are going to use. Wetland are ecosystem where water is primarily factor controlling the environment and associated plant and animal life. This is the first definition. Getting my points? That wetland are ecosystem where water is primarily factor controlling the environment and the associated plant and animal life. Why? Because I have discussed as the ecosystem, wetland are ecosystem. So it is now our responsibility to mention that controlling environment and associated plants and animal life. And never forget the mention the Ramsar Convention 1971 Iran. Wetland includes area of marsh, fen, peatland, water, whether natural or artificial, permanent or temporary, with static or flowing fresh, brackish or salt water. I added each and every word in wetland according to Ramsar Wetland Convention 1971. क्या क्या हैं सारे ऐड कर दीजिए. Next one, India's wetland cover, ठीक है, 4.6% of its geographical area. Flood control, groundwater recharge, carbon sequestration, biodiversity conservation. I added number of things regarding on the behalf of Indian side. So first of all, I mentioned the definition, clear, precise, and the second definition I mentioned regarding the global definition. Getting my points? And the third, the last lines, I mentioned Indian context. So basically in the introduction, I define the wetland in 3 ways. The first is the general introduction, second one is according to Ramsar Convention, and third one is from the Indian side, Indian context. Getting my points? That was the reason this, wetland is known the kidney of the earth. Getting my points? Why? Because groundwater recharge, carbon sequestration, biodiversity conservation. Now you will understand and notice that कितने important words मैंने use किए हैं. एक word भी unnecessary नहीं है. And each and every word is defining itself. कि हाँ मैं हूँ. And I will give you the maximum marks. So make sure that you have to choose the word clearly and carefully. Now let's move toward the man body. You know that every answer has a 3 important things. The first introduction, second is man body, and third one is conclusion. So in man body, you will notice over there wise use, Ramsar concept of wise use. क्या हमने इसमें ऐड किया है? लेख देखते हैं. Ramsar Convention promotes wise use of wetland, which refers to maintenance. Number 1. Why maintenance? Because maintenance is very important for ecological characters and achieved through implementation of ecosystem approaches. Maintenance important for ecological characters. How can we maintain? Through the different approaches within the context of sustainable development. Why? This is the last and ultimate destination or point of every country, that we have to adopt the sustainable development for the next generation. नाच रही है जो Instagram और Facebook पर generation, उसके लिए हमें बचाना है. Getting my points? This means wetlands should be conserved and managed in ways that balance ecological integrity with human needs. In the last line, you will notice over there, this means the wetland should be conserved and managed in ways that balance ecological integrity with human needs. On the other side, we have to protect the nature or ecosystem, and on the other side, we have to take care the human needs. And we have to create the balance. That was the reason we are choosing the sustainable development. Next one. What are the applications in conservation? Avoid over-exploitation and habitable destructions. Getting the points? Avoid over-exploitation. Encourage community participation, ecotourism, sustainable livelihoods. You know that recently Kerala was in news due to its ecotourism, and another state was Uttarakhand. And sustainable development to support integration into national planning, India Wetland Conservation Management Rules 2017. I also mentioned the rules. You know that what kind of applications and what is the basic uses, I each and everything in mention. Next, what are the examples? What are the examples ठीक है, ऑफ रामासार साइट्स इन इंडिया। देखो चिल्का लेक मैंने लिया है एंड केवलादेव नेशनल पार्क मैंने 2 लिए हैं, ठीक है। यू नो दैट टुडे वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट, आई थिंक सो वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट 89, ठीक है, अभी का लेटेस्ट डेटा बता देता हूं आपको, करीबन इतना है। सो आई चूज 2 इंपॉर्टेंट साइट्स। द फर्स्ट इज चिल्का लेक फ्रॉम द ओडिशा विच इज द लार्जेस्ट ब्रेकिश वाटर लेक, ये लगून लेक एंड क्रिटिकल हैबिटेट फॉर माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स। सो नंबर 1। नेक्स्ट वन, केवलादेव नेशनल पार्क, अ मैन मेड वेटलैंड इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर नेस्टिंग ओवर द 370 बर्ड स्पीसीज, ठीक है। बोथ आर इंपॉर्टेंट साइट्स, ठीक है, फॉर द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स। So on the behalf of 2 examples, ठीक है, I decided the most 2 important ठीक है sites from the Odisha sites and another from the Rajasthan sites. Getting my points? तो ये आपको छोटा सा factual information लास्ट में ऐड कर देना है जनरली इन मैन बॉडी के अंदर। Getting my points? Now let's move toward the conclusion. Conclusion, you will hardly found that we have used just in 2.5 lines almost. ठीक है, the concept of wise use in pivotal ensuring wetland continue to deliver ecosystem services while supporting sustainable development goals. Their conservation is not just ecological but a socio-economic imperative. ये हमने कंक्लूजन में एंड कर दिया है that this is just for socio-economic imperative, और the first line is talking about the wise use. The wise use in pivotal ensuring wetland continue to deliver ecosystem services while supporting sustainable development means whenever we talk about the conservation, so definitely you have to write about the sustainable development. So sustainable development, environment protection, habitable, we have to stop the habitable destructions, flora and fauna, number of things. Getting my points? So we discuss the Ramsar concept and we choose, ठीक है, most of the important words, ठीक है, and we completely avoid the extreme views and unnecessary words. Getting my points? So today we discuss the concept and the model answer. In next class we will meet with the different topics and तब तक के लिए अच्छे से देखो and follow the channel and कोई बात हो तो कमेंट कर लेना. Okay, getting my points? So this is enough from this side. Take care. See you soon.